Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Just wanted to make sure.
It is 7:29.
Yeah. Or half, probably. We don't have.
Oh, John.
1, 2,
Hey,
3, 4. There you go.
Hey, John.
Good evening, everyone.
How you doing, John?
I am finer than frog hair.
That is fun.
Wow. Who's not on the video? I can't think who it is.
Oh, Doug, that's on video.
Yeah, no.
That's where I heard
Right.
you talking.
Yeah, he's on.
Where's Doug?
Probably over here, yes.
Probably the guest.
Steve, how you doing?
That's good.
Mr. Wright, are you on board?
I'm on.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We got everyone available.
Yep.
Okay,
There you go.
well, okay. City Council, come to order, please. Clerk, please call the roll.
Whitaker,
Here.
Wright,
Here.
Baumgartner,
Here,
Godwin,
Here.
Howdy Show,
Here.
Rogers,
Here.
Schmidt.
here.
Okay, before we go to the pledge, I would like to again announce and the numbers for calling in. If you're calling in, you use this number as 1-312-626-6799. That will get you a line. And then the meeting number ID is an 856-2128-4452. Once you get that, the password would be 944013. So that's anybody who would wish to call in during the public comment or public hearing portion. Please get connected now. At this time, I'd ask that we all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag of the United States of America,
and
to the republic
which
for
stands
one nation,
under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty, and
Liberty and
justice
justice for all.
Thank you all. Have a seat. For the minutes, you all received copies of the last meeting minutes via email. Any additions or corrections? I just wanted to double check, are all of you receiving those in a timely manner and able to check them on your email, et cetera, et cetera?
Yes.
Anyone having difficulty?
Nope.
Okay, great, thank you. If there are no additions or corrections, they will stand approved as submitted. Approval of the current financial report you received from the auditor, the current financial report for the this first few days of August and the last part of July. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to approve the current financial report from the auditor's office. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Show,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Approval of the agenda. Under ordinances and resolutions, I have a number 4 to add. And that is a resolution to expend funds from the COVID-19 relief funds from the state of Ohio. It's again a resolution to expend funds from the COVID-19 funds from the state. And that's all I have at this time to add.
Move to approve the agenda as amended.
Motion by Mr. Schmidt to approve the agenda as amended. Discussion. Call roll, please.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Shell,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, if anyone listening would wish to address council at this time, you may do so. Again, I hope that you're dialed in, and if you would please state your name and address for the record, and state your business or questions to council. Look like we have anyone?
Yeah, family. That 1482 is upstairs.
I think that's Kim down the line.
Okay,
So there's no visitors.
okay. All right. Well, seeing that, we will move the agenda and go to administrative reports. Mayor Woolman.
Thank you, Council President. I just got a couple things to highlight. We're working on the DORA. Maybe Ryan probably has a little bit more with that, but working on I think the street department is working on the signage, and Brian Brady's helping out, and he's trying to figure out what kind of logos are possible to put on the cups. So those are things that have to be done before it will open up, and get the final okay from the state, I believe. So if they have any more, they can talk about it later, but it's still in the works. It'll be coming in the next week or two. So one other thing, well, not one other thing. If you haven't noticed that out there at the old Pennies, north of town, Marshall's is doing a lot of work. Contractors are working inside there. They've got the place all torn out. I don't know if they're about ready to start fixing it up, but they're going to town on it. It's like there's a lot of things going on out there, so it looks good. Excited to see Marshall's come to town. Pretty cool. Opening, they're predicting that they'll open hopefully the 1st of November, not too far away. Let's see what else. Everybody be careful. I think we have the world's longest garage sale coming up, so everybody be careful. There's gonna be a lot of traffic out on the highway, so take it easy. We're still working on the KitchenAid store. We got a small group. We're gonna invite a few community and residents around Greenville, and maybe people that might be interested in helping with business. We don't know whether the store is gonna stay. We don't know how that's gonna look. We're still working on a lot of ideas and options, putting together some kind of a plan to try to talk them into maybe more time or a partnership of some sort, but it's still in the works. We get something a little more concrete, and I can give you a little better update. Other than that, I'll pass them. Thanks. Anybody got questions? That's it for me.
All right, thank you, sir. Safety Service Director, Mr. Dell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, on Dora, just to go off what the mayor spoke about there. So we're probably about 2 weeks out. We're working with downtown Greenville or Main Street Greenville, Ryan Berry, to get the cups. We have the area certified by a surveyor now, and when the signage gets here, we'll start working on putting that up. So I would say we're waiting on the Department of Liquor Control to hand out all of our necessary permits. And those permits actually just go to the liquor establishments in the area. And then we'll be ready to go with that. Next thing, so down at the wastewater treatment plant, we're getting ready to begin our clarifier project. That's projected to take about 2 months. It'll probably be starting here mid-August. And then we started all of the design phase for our UV project. The UV project is a major overhaul of the wastewater treatment plant. So that will be we'll no longer use chlorine to treat. We'll use ultraviolet light to treat the sewage. So that will hopefully, we can get it all designed here rather quickly because of flows and timelines. The goal would be to start construction November, December, but we'll see if we can get that accomplished or not. For the cameras and council room and the streaming, we've ordered the camera system, and we are currently working on the sound system. We have some TVs to hang up there, but process is started. So after tonight's council meeting, we will not be on Channel 5 anymore. This will be the last one that's broadcasted on Channel 5. We will still be on Facebook Live. We'll still be able to use Zoom until we all get back and are able to go to the council room. And then we will start streaming on a YouTube channel. Wagner Avenue, the first course of asphalt got laid today, and then starting next week, they're going to start pouring sidewalk. So the plan is by the end of August to have that project wrapped up. And then last, we have our iWork system software purchased. We started training on it today. So we still have a couple weeks of training to do. They're doing those by Zoom, training our staff here at the planning and zoning department so we can start really going after code enforcement. We have been attacking it as best as we can, and we're going to work through it. And with this iWork system, I think we're going to be able to track it and make great strides. And with that, I pass.
Hey, Ryan, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
On that North Broadway project, when they do projects like that, there's usually, if somebody don't do something in time that's allotted to do, is there fines for like that lighting thing? Is there anything we could issue to that to get them to do that?
Negative. Yeah, the lighting portion, the portion that we're waiting on North Broadway wasn't anything on the contractor or anything on that project. It was totally on the city and Miami Valley Lighting, who the city contracts for all of our street lighting throughout the city.
Damn COVID, you have to wait on the damn lights, you dummy house.
Further questions? Excuse me. Thank you, sir. Law Director, Mr. Raymond.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. I have just a couple quick things this evening. One, coming out of the Planning and Zoning Board, they've made a recommendation. We currently do not have any commercial fence regulations. We have residential fence regulations, but they've seen a need to implement a commercial fence regulation, and they have a proposal for council for that. To be able to move forward with that, we need council to set that for public hearing, which needs to happen 30 days out from today. So I would make the request that we move forward with that process and set it for a public hearing. And so that was item number one. Item number two is, as Ryan had mentioned, we've got our technology upgrades coming in the council chambers. That last additional piece of legislation tonight is related to that. It's just to further clarify, although we've already approved making those improvements, it's to further clarify that those improvements are related to COVID-19 and the coronavirus pandemic. And you're going to see a lot more of that kind of legislation coming forward as we start to expend those funds. We need to document that we are using them for those things. So Hopefully we won't have too much on your all's plate, but you're going to see some redundancy in that regard. And with that, I'll take any questions if anybody has any.
Mr. Illman,
Yes, sir.
what about this fence? Well, what's the difference between the two?
And so right now we have a specific regulations that apply only, and they say in our current zoning ordinances that they apply only to residential fencing. And so if I have a property that's zoned commercial or special use or light industrial or general business, I can put up whatever kind of fence I want, and we have no control over that because we don't regulate it at all. And so what this will do is just kind of create not necessarily a uniform standard, but it will create a fencing standard for all properties in the city so that there's essentially consistency.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Mr. Raymond, you requested setting a hearing date for the zoning and planning's request for that purpose. And it has to be 30 days from today.
At least 30 days, that is correct.
Make it probably the best to be done by the 15th of September, which will be the second meeting in September.
Yep.
Okay. Good enough. It's kind of interesting. This year we have our first meeting in September is September the 1st, and that's before Labor Day, which is kind of unusual. We're usually falling behind Labor Day, but that's okay. So anyway, that would be it. So I would ask the clerk to note that we would set that public hearing on the zoning and planning's request for fencing regulation. Is there anything else? Mr. Raymond, anything else?
No, nothing for me if no one has any additional questions.
Okay, thank you. City Auditor, Mrs. Wilman.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. There should have been a report distributed to all the council members regarding the bonus point program through our city Visa account. We currently had a credit card bonus points program, which year to date had a total of 65,662 points on it. The city has had a policy that no bonus points would be used or earned, that had been earned would be used. Accordingly, the city is canceling the bonus points program effective immediately. Therefore, we do not have to report via the state auditors that we have a number of bonus points on the program. So the Greenville National Bank canceled that program as of September 15th, I believe, of this past year, and we will no longer be using a bonus points program. If nobody has any additional questions with that, I would ask.
Question I would have, what could we get with the quote bonus points?
Discounts on flights and discounts. Pardon? Yeah, just different programs. We never checked into it. It was just something that started building up through our account. And the state auditors basically said, if you have a program, you have to report it every year as to how yes, income. And so since we did not use the program and it wasn't our policy to use it, we asked that it be canceled. So it has been.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions for the auditor? Seeing none, we will move on the agenda and go to nothing under committee reports. And we have ordinances and resolutions to consider tonight. First will be a supplemental appropriations ordinance.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020. The supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the following fund. New tree planting, tree program in the amount of $2,000. These funds are needed to purchase trees for planting within the city and were provided by Mr. Dick Brown. New equipment park in the amount of $2,750. These funds are needed for the disc golf course in the park and were provided by donations. Refunds, income tax in the amount of $91,000. These funds are needed to cover refunds through December 31st, 2020. New equipment fire, CIP in the amount of $2,030. These funds are needed to purchase rescue tools for the fire department and were provided by the fire department user fees.
Move to suspend the rules, give this second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules and read the ordinance by title second, third time. Discussion? Call roll, please.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Show,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020.
Move to
motion
adopt.
to adopt,
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call roll, please.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Show,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Next, we have a transfer ordinance.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. This transfer ordinance allows for transfers in the following funds. $2,030 from fire user fees general fund to CIP transfers elected auditor and treasurer. These funds are needed for transfer to the CIP fund in order to purchase rescue tools.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this ordinance and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Clarence Godwin to suspend the rules, read the ordinance by title second, third time. Discussion? Call roll, please.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Show,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion? Call roll, please.
I just did that,
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Show,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
And next, we have a resolution approving bids for contracts for water and sewer plant chemicals for use and delivery in 2020.
A resolution approving bids for contracts for water and sewer plant chemicals for use and delivery in 2020. This resolution approves entry into contracts with Carmuse Lime and Stone Incorporated, Univar Solutions USA Incorporated, Alexander Chemical Corporation, Chemical Service Incorporated, Caris Corporation, and PVS Technologies Incorporated for the use and delivery of water and sewer plant chemicals in the calendar year 2020.
Move to suspend the rules and give this resolution a reading by title only for the second and third time.
Mr. Whitaker, to suspend the rules, read the resolution by title second and third time. Discussion? Call roll, please.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy Show,
yes,
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
A resolution approving bids for contracts for water and sewer plant chemicals for use and delivery in 2020. A resolution approving bids for contracts for water and sewer plant chemicals for use and delivery in 2020.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Mrs. Howdashell to adopt the resolution. Discussion?
I've got a question.
Yeah.
2021. Is this chemicals for 2020 or 2021?
Well,
Should be both.
Both?
Yeah, I think your contract expires
Okay,
in like November.
okay.
so it's actually in my summary, or the summary that came with the agenda, it says 2021. But Mr. Delk informs us that we need them for both this year and next year as well because of the expiration of the contract. Problem with that?
No.
Okay. The motion then is to adopt.
Yes.
Call the roll, please.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy-Shell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Okay, and finally, item 4 that we added was a resolution regarding the expenditure of funds from the coronavirus relief funds from the state.
A resolution expending funds from the Coronavirus Relief Distribution Fund. This resolution authorizes the expenditure of funds from the Coronavirus Relief Distribution Fund.
I move to suspend the rules to give this resolution second, third reading, title only.
Motion by Mr. Baumgartner to suspend the rules, read the resolution by title, second and third time. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy-Shell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
A resolution expending funds from the Coronavirus Relief Distribution Fund. A resolution expending funds from the Coronavirus Relief Distribution Fund.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Whitaker to adopt. Discussion. Question I have, again, this is just authorizing you to expend those funds as we can plug it into the parameters of the program.
Correct.
Okay. So, all right. Any further discussion? Call the roll, please.
Whitaker,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdy-Shell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Okay, that concludes our orders and resolutions. Nothing under old or new business. Items of communication.
We received the quarterly report of April, May, and June from the fire department. We received the CIC meeting minutes from May 27th, 2020, and then we received the monthly report of July from income tax.
From where?
Income tax.
Income tax. Okay, thank you. Any other communications?
That's it.
Seeing none, we will call down the council, please.
Whitaker,
Oh, yeah, we had a very enjoyable evening last night at the Treaty Bicentennial Time Capsule opening. We had met in the fire department bay and had a great group of people. I understand there was over 70 people there, and Mr. President Burkett did a great job in explaining the history behind the bicentennial, and a lot of interesting facts are revealed, and really enjoyable evening for everyone. With that, I pass.
Wright,
I again would like to thank the mayor and President Burkett for a very interesting evening yesterday. Learned a lot. I would like the mayor to dress like President Burkett was. I think that'd been most exciting the next time.
I can outfit him.
But other than that, I'll pass.
Baumgartner,
Pass.
Godwin,
Pass.
Howdy-Shell,
I want to thank Ryan for going to look into a car business repair going in a residential area here in Greenville. And everybody be safe. And again, if you wasn't there last night for the bicentennial opening of the time capsule, you missed a great time. And with that, I pass.
Rogers,
Yes, I also was very informative last night at the opening of the time capsule and the things that was in that. A lot of history there. So, and learned a lot of history about the city of Greenville from President Burkett there. And also, if you're out there, and hopefully we can get through this COVID before long, Dark County numbers have been increasing little by little. We aren't near some of the other communities, but we don't really want it to be. So just try to be safe out there and do what you can to help the spread of it. I pass.
Schmidt,
I'll pass.
President Burkett,
Mr. Whitaker, it's gonna be longer in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, there are so many people to thank for last evening's affairs. And first of all and foremost, I'd like to thank the Legion Honor Guard, or excuse me, Color Guard, that presented the colors last night. These ladies and gentlemen take time out of their busy days too, and provide this service for various events and functions throughout the county, I believe, and maybe even beyond that. I don't know, but I think it's very admirable that they do that, and of course without any compensation. But it's just something that they like to do and they're proud to do, and we're very, very proud to have them do that. Also, the contingency of Boy Scouts that were there last evening from Troop 134, which, if I'm not mistaken, my boys will remember that troop. It's operated at that time out of the Methodist Church, and I think still does. First Methodist Church here on the corner of 4th and Sycamore. And I believe is the oldest surviving Boy Scout troop in the city of Greenville, and maybe even in the county. I'm not sure. I don't recall when it was established, but when we were there attending that church, and the kids were a member of that troop, they got a 50-year award for being in business 50 years, and that was a long time ago. So it might be even close to 75 now. I'm not actually sure, but I know it's quite a long time. And again, their support of the community is just phenomenal, and appreciate that very much. To members of the DAR for their help with this event, Brenda Arnett, who is what they call the regent, like the president of the organization. The history committee, Debbie Neisonger is the chairman of that, and she was one of the driving forces in this whole event. And all the other DAR ladies that were there really appreciate what they did. The many guests, and of course we had some special ones. We had Mara Cox and Nancy Baker, and Steve Schultry wasn't able to attend, but of the 11 original board of trustees of the Bicentennial Committee, those are the 3 remaining. And 2 of the 3 were there. The Bicentennial Committee is still functioning, albeit Mary Gray Kennison, Susan Gray's, the founder of actually the whole thing, Susan Gray's daughter, since Susan's passing, has kind of taken that helm, and we appreciate that. And I think Larry Henderson was there, and Dan Schiffer, the local attorney who has been with the committee also since its beginning. So it took a lot of effort on a lot of people's part. You don't do something this nice without involving a lot of people. And the mayor and Ryan Delt and the fire department, the firemen got to carry a lot of chairs for us. They put up a few chairs, and then more people started coming in, so they had to run to the basement and get more chairs. And we appreciate this, let us using the facility as well as the assistance they gave us. And of course, we had some presence from the police department over. So again, it was a community effort. It wasn't something that just one or two people put together. And the mayor, was behind this and supported 100%. So I thank everyone for their, number one, their kind words, and number two, for their support as well. It speaks well of our community. So again, the artifacts that were displayed will be available for view down at the Visitors Bureau or Welcome Center, I think they call it. And Ryan Berry has helped us with that, making those arrangements. And as soon as we can get stuff down there and displayed, it will remain there for a while. Unfortunately, there are a lot of documents that require reading. There were several newspapers, Dayton Daily, and of course, several, the Greenville Advocate, the Early Bird, and they had pertinent stories of the time that may not have been about the bicentennial, but it was a time capsule. So it was what was going on in the community and in the world at that time, which really makes it kind of an interesting. Now, 25 years doesn't sound like a long time, but a lot's happened in 25 years. And one of the Debbie Neisauer and the DAR, they have a mask that says Treaty of City Bicentennial 2020 and COVID-19 2020. A mask that if we put another capsule together, that'll have to go in because it's a sign of the times, folks. So anyway, that's where we are. And again, thank you to everyone. It was a phenomenal event. And one final question, or not final question, one final comment. My lovely lady Karen, who's watching from her hospital bed, and I would like to say, what was that? Mrs. B has a new knee. So she's in good shape. And been a long day for her. She might go to sleep during this whole thing. You never know. So anyway, I appreciate it. Again, thank you. And I will pass.
Take care, Karen.
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Mrs. Howdeshell to adjourn. Call the roll, please.
Goodacre,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Baumgartner,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Howdeshell,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night, John Boy.
Hi, Ellen.
Good night, Brian.
Bye.